Today on a special episode of TV Tuesday, we're talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The original ninjas.
Yeah, from 1987. The only way to go. The only one that's real to me.
Yeah.
Besides the films and the series that happened later.
And the new movies.
And I guess the new movies happened as well, even though I didn't watch them. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the old shit.
Boom.
You ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Bada boom, babushka.
The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast. Natural Habitat Podcast.
Yo, what up, everybody? Hey, it's the Natural Habitat Podcast. Oh, coming at you live, and today is the 75th anniversary of the first movie of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You almost said of the Natural Habitat.
Yeah, the first Natural Habitat Podcast movie.
Man, we must be super far in the future.
Yeah, man. Everybody remembers the first Natural Habitat Podcast movie. It was an animated feature. And we were voiced by Justin Long and Rob Corddry. I don't know why. We told them we were available.
Yeah. And
what they did is they just took, episodes of the podcast, took chunks out, and then had Justin Long and Rob Corddry redo them. The whole thing happened inside of a podcast studio.
So crazy.
Yeah, it was weird, but this is the 75th anniversary of that today. And
today.
But in all seriousness, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a thing that we are here to respect. Like I said, we will not be talking about the new movies. Have you seen the new movies?
Yep, I went to the premiere.
See, I drew that invisible line in the sand, and for some reason, I didn't like the animation, the way that they were depicted. I didn't like their personalities of what I saw.
Yeah, I thought the same thing until I saw the movie.
Yeah, maybe I just need to see the movie.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I gave it a shot because I'm a real turtle. I'm a fucking real Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else to say. I've been a Ninja Turtle since being a Ninja Turtle. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I was a little kid, I just identify with it. I can't help it. I don't really get the new cartoons, but I never watched them either. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm sure today's kids love them. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard anything other than love for the turtles, so I don't really know what to say about it, but I know that our cartoon rocked. The first live action movies fucking rocked. Yeah. And these new ones are badass too, dude. They got good characters in them. Motherfucking Megan Fox running around in it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, it's not bad at all. It's good humor, good comedy, good action. I didn't really like you said, I didn't like the adaptation of like how they did the new art for it, but at the same time, it is what it is. Everything evolves and changes. You know what I'm saying? And there's still the Turtles. It's still the same story. It's still familiar, even though it looks new. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to explain it. You immediately get drawn into it as soon as it starts. You're like, oh shit, this is the Turtles. You know what I mean?
It's fucking turtle time.
It's badass, bro. I can't explain it. Like, and it just sucks you in right from the beginning. And I'm ready for the next one. Remember, I was telling you, I went to the premiere out here, and I went and they gave you these masks to wear, the eye covers, and then they gave you these big ass posters, and then I saw Craig Robinson in the theater at the premiere. I'm like fucking big fanboy man child. I'm like, I seen him, I couldn't even say anything. I just like got my poster in my hand and
and you pointed the poster at him.
I didn't even say anything. I'm like looking around like, is this real? I felt like such a kid, you know what I mean? Like such a retard. It was so funny.
Man, you love that Craig Robinson story. We're gonna get him on the show one day.
We should get him on the show.
And we're gonna be like, do you remember that time when you were at the premiere of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and some
weird guy was like
some grown man in a mask pointed a poster at you?
Some man child with wearing a fucking turtle mask
and just stared you down like it was purge night.
Yeah, for real.
You just look at him.
Turtle mask.
Not even like, hey,
turtle poster. I
enjoy your work, Mr. Robinson. None of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
I'm gonna go smoke and watch one of your shit right now.
So yeah, man, maybe I just need to watch the new Turtles movie. I don't know, but like you said, I was a turtle since been Turtles. You know what I mean? Since Turtles were a thing, and it was probably the first. You know, Turtles came before Batman in my life, and it was probably the first show that I was into, like, by choice, not counting, you know, like Sesame Street or whatever, like kid shows I used to watch when I was a kid just because it was something on TV that was bright. But, you know, like, it was the first thing that I was into, that I wanted toys. I wanted fucking the Ninja Turtles blanket. I still have a Ninja Turtles pillowcase to this day on my bed. So it's like, you know, that was one of the first things that pulled me in. And the original cartoon, I've talked about it before, but Hot Rodding Teenagers from Dimension X is by far my favorite episode of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
It was maybe episode 4 or something like that. You can see every single episode on YouTube right now. You can go there, all the full episodes, all the seasons. And I think in episode 4, they showed up, and I just realized today watching it that they were the reason, you know, they opened the portal to Dimension X, and that was the portal that Krong came through, or Krang, or whatever, however the fuck you say it, Krang, I think it was Krang, and he came through the portal, and he was like the bad guy from Dimension X. So I didn't know that these hot rodding teenagers played such a part in the story of the Turtles, but they actually did, I found out. So that's dope. They just wanted to have fun. You know what I mean? That's it.
All Turtles do.
Yeah. And no, the kids, but the Turtles too. And that's why they got along so good.
Yeah.
The kids came from some universe full of war, and they didn't want to go to war. They just wanted to listen to music and drive around in their hot rods and have fun and do drugs.
Hey, speaking of.
Oh, shit. Is it time?
It is.
It's about that time.
It's turtle power.
It's fucking turtle power. Just real quick, let's ask Vanilla Ice. You know, when you think about the Ninja Turtles, what comes to your mind, Mr. Ice?
Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Go.
That's it? You just think of the song that you made? You just want to do a shameless plug for yourself?
Yep.
All right. I guess he's not going to talk anymore. Well, in that respect, I say that we get into the smoke sesh with the one and only Vanilla Ice with the Ninja Rap.
All right.
You ready?
Maybe.
Wait, I got to start heating up this now. Everybody out there, flick your bics, snap your pics, and hashtag them NHP Smoke Sesh. Go to naturalhabitatpodcast.com/NHP Smoke Sesh, and we can all smoke together.
Green machine, gonna rock the town without being seen. Have you ever seen a turtle get down? Slamming and jamming to the new swing sound. Yeah, everybody let's move. Vanilla is here with the new jack groove. Gonna rock and roll the place with the power of the Ninja Turtle bass. Iceman, you know I'm not playing. Devastate the show what the turtles are saying. Ninja, ninja, rap. Ninja, ninja, rap. Ninja, ninja, rap. Go ninja, go ninja, go. 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 Go, 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 go. Lyrics
lyric.
Get the ninja rap, just feel it. If you know what I mean, give it up. For the heroes in green, just flowing. Smooth with the power, kicking it up hour after hour. Cause in this life, there's only one winner. You better aim quick, you hit the center. In it to win it with a team of 4 Ninja Turtles that you got at the door. It's Ninja, Ninja Rap, Ninja, Ninja Rap, Ninja, Ninja Rap. Go, 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 go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Go Ninja, go.
Two things.
Yeah.
One, I can't take that dude seriously because all I can picture is him building some cabinet somewhere or something fucking ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Have you seen his home improvement show?
Yes, I have.
It's not bad.
It's what's it called?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Ice does things or something. I don't know. It's like he builds stuff or
Yeah,
fucking
but it's
remodels houses or whatever.
He's pretty good at it.
He doesn't do a bad job.
Yeah.
I think it suits him actually.
Well, that's apparently that's what he's been doing his whole life in between music careers because
yeah, and he's like making money off of it too. I guess they're like flipping houses.
Yeah.
And shit.
And he was famous back in the day when he made Ice Ice Baby and Ninja Rap and all that. And he got, a little chunk of money, especially back then it was good money in the music industry. And then he spent it all within a couple of years. And then he didn't really have any sort of career. He was like a one-hit wonder kind of thing until I'm going to say like 2005 or something like that when he dropped Bipolar and he started going by V Ice and dropped a whole bunch of new shit, had like a song with Korn and fucking in between those music careers of Vanilla Ice and V Ice, he was just doing construction and remodeling on houses. So
cool.
It's I think it's dope that he made a show out of his job that he did when his music career failed and ended up using his fame to do it anyway. You know what I mean? I like stories of people who get rejected by the mainstream industry and still make a name for themselves.
Yeah, that's always dope.
Yeah, it's fresh.
And then the other thing was I always liked that song. It's cheesy, but it was a good Turtle movie song for the time period. And I like the new one also. I'm sure there'll be a new one in this next movie, but the last one was Wiz Khalifa and he did a good job.
Yeah, the Shell Shocked one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad. It was a good Turtle song. And I don't know if a lot of people know, but Wiz Khalifa has one of the dopest chains. It's a fucking Ninja Turtle chain, and it is sick as fuck.
Yeah?
Yeah, you should check it out. It's bad as fuck.
That's dope. I'm going to have to check it out. I'm going to have to check it out right now, actually.
Yeah.
Khalifa, Ninja Turtle chain. Yeah, fucking, this, which character was your favorite? Which one did you most relate to? We'll just say out of the Turtles.
Michelangelo for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think we might have
Party Turtle.
Yeah, I think we might have gone over this before, and we both chose Michelangelo.
Mm-hmm. He was the most fun. He was the party one. He wasn't the asshole. He wasn't the fucking trying to be the leader, and he wasn't the smart one. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He was the fun one, and I think that it was easy to relate to him because that's like who we are. But I mean, other people relate to other things. You know what I mean? And that's what's cool that there's 4 of them because it has such a wide range of things for people to relate to.
Yeah, I'd say one of my favorite characters out of the whole show is Casey Jones by far. He's just like super dope, and in the comic books, I believe, or actually in the TV show, Casey Jones never took off his mask, and he always like concealed his identity, never took off his mask, and then when the movie came out, they showed his face to start up some sort of love story between him and April. and a lot of things were changed up. But in the TV show, he was just like some dope ass fucking ninja dude in a hockey mask. And the TV show, like, I also read a thing about the nunchucks. They banned Michelangelo's nunchucks in a lot of countries. And after the 4th season, they ended up phasing out the nunchucks and having him use a grappling hook, the one that they all had, like a little turtle shell grappling hook. That was his main weapon. And it was because there was like all this violence that was attributed to the show. People were blaming it on Ninja Turtles. And the nunchucks were being outlawed in a bunch of, you know, states and countries, and they were like being recognized as a dangerous weapon at the time. So, you know, that's kind of whack that it was like fear mongering all the way to the point to where they had to change the show and write it different and reanimate it to have a new weapon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was part of the times back then where everything was still like uncertain.
Yeah, censorship was at a weird time.
Yeah, it really was. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's crazy. And I think that kids should be able to play with nunchucks, you know? Nunchucks are just as dangerous as a fucking stick, as a staff. Yeah. You know what I mean? I had nunchucks when I was a kid. I hurt myself a couple times, but it was usually just hitting myself in the balls or my arm when I was trying to flip them around.
Do we have a list of, like, guest appearances?
On the show?
Yeah.
I know that they did a lot of crossovers, like throughout their years. They did let's see, what was the one? They did a Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers crossover where they were on an episode of Power Rangers. And I don't know. Let me see if I can find something. Yeah, I can't really find anything, but I know that there's like 160 episodes or something like that on YouTube. So we're just gonna have to go through and watch them all.
It was the longest running cartoon until The Simpsons passed it, right?
Yeah, when the final episode of Ninja Turtles aired, it was the longest running cartoon in American TV history. And then 2 years later, The Simpsons beat it. So that's crazy. It was, I want to
2 years later then, and look at The Simpsons still going now. Holy shit, Jay.
Yeah, that's, but when did,
they had a long break though too, right?
1996 was the last episode of Ninja Turtles. And I want to say The Simpsons had a break. But, let's see. Ninja Turtles has, looks like 190 episodes. So that's not too shabby at all. Not too shabby.
That's a lot. That's a lot of din.
So I read about this fresh ass connection between universes. We always love when different movie or show universes are connected, and there's a connection between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Daredevil. I don't know if did you watch the new Daredevil show on Netflix?
I don't think so. I think I maybe watched one episode, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was dope. They did a really good job. I got all sucked into it. But
I definitely should watch it for sure.
Yeah, you should. And so should the listeners out there. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's super dope. And I didn't even really know much about Daredevil. I was like a DC guy and not so much into Marvel, so I didn't really know the backstory of Daredevil, but it's kind of it's like self-sustained or whatever. Like the series holds up on its own, even if you don't have any knowledge of the characters. It lays it all out for you. And I found out that in the comic book, Matt Murdock, who is Daredevil, saves a blind man from a speeding car and is struck in the side of the head with a radioactive canister, which blinds him but makes his other senses more powerful, and then he becomes Daredevil. Now, this radioactive canister bounces off of his head and rolls into a sewer where it then bathes these turtles that were abandoned or whatever. I forget the original story. They were stuck in like someone's butt, and they pooped them out into a storm drain, and they were covered in this goo and transformed them into masters of ninjutsu. That sounds crazy. Sorry, that was a fart. So that's crazy that this one bottle of radioactive ooze was just thrown from a car like a bad CD and bounced off of Matt Murdock's head, making him Daredevil, and then rolled into a storage storm drain, making turtles Ninja Turtles. And I wonder how much other shit this radioactive ooze did. Just that one bottle.
I mean, like it's like a chain, right? It's like just keeps happening.
It could be that one bottle could be responsible for something else. It could have leaked through the water, came out of some storm drain, and fucking, some guy drinks from it and becomes some other superhero from some other comic book that we haven't read yet. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to find that third connection one day.
Wink.
Wink.
Oh, did we say that, Uncle Phil was in the show?
No, Uncle Phil was the voice of Shredder. Right?
Yep. James Avery.
James Avery. Every? What is it? Avery or Every?
Avery. With the A.
James Avery.
No.
Uncle Phil was the voice of who? Shredder?
Yeah.
I said it. I don't know why I fucking forgot it. Yeah, and you could totally hear it. And I was watching it today, and Donatello sounds a lot like Fry from Futurama.
Yeah, he did actually.
But he's not, and it was bugging me the whole time I was watching it. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like you think back about it, and you're like, oh, this is just some cartoon that I watched when I was a kid, and I'm still into it. Blah blah blah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is dope, but you don't really realize how influential this first series was.
Yeah, it really hit a huge audience and changed a generation. You know what I mean? Like it did. It was so big that it spawned all these things. Like not everything gets this type of response. Gets movies made out of it. Especially a lot of cartoons don't get live action movies made from them. You know what I mean? So when it gets to that level, that thing was a huge experience for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because I kind of forget how big it was when I look back at it, and these movies that are still coming up today, whether I watch them or not, they're still doing great, and it's crazy, like just these small ideas that people have. When this guy first drew the Ninja Turtles, they were all the same color. They had names, but you couldn't tell them apart. We talked about that before, how they didn't have colors on their face bands or whatever, their masks, until the show came out. And the comic book, they were all just black. And as well as April O'Neil was also black. And they did something that they call whitewashing and turned her and someone else Caucasian. And some guy just made this little idea that was really nothing compared to what it is now. And this is what it turned into and flourished into.
It was her and the sinister scientist, Baxter Stockman. And I remember having his toy.
Yeah.
That figure, Mm-hmm. That was one of the first ones. I had that one and all the turtles, the Shredder, Master Splinter, April, the fucking Turtle Van, the boat.
Yeah.
The fucking
and that's the thing that they did right is merchandising. They merchandised the shit out of fucking Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was our Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars wasn't out for our generation. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't a movie out in the 80s for Star Wars, I don't think. Like, in the mid-80s when we were born, you know what I mean? So I think that was the craze for us. That was our fucking Star Wars, you know what I mean? Like, we geeked out on Ninja Turtles. We bought every little fucking thing. And then there was a few other ones, too. Like, G.I. Joes. G.I. Joes were really smart. We had fucking all the G.I. Joe shit. And then wrestling. Wrestling was fucking huge. Wrestling had so much merchandise.
Yeah.
Everybody had wrestlers and fucking wrestling toys. And
yeah.
shit.
Had the little ring and fucking all that shit. Everybody did. And, still to this day, I'm buying Ninja Turtle shit at fucking Walmart all the time.
Clothes or whatever.
So, I read that CBS decided that they wanted the show to be darker after it beat X-Men in ratings in 1992. So this was right before the show's end. Didn't we say it ended in 93? No, 96. So it went for a while. And they wanted it to be darker. So after season 8, the show got more serious. And it took more of a tone that the comic book was. Because originally they wanted it to be... The comic book was bloody and real gory. And they would chop people's heads off. And they would drink alcohol and do all this crazy shit. And then they cleaned it up for the show. And originally in the first season, he wanted the voice actors, to be serious and do like a dramatic kind of read for it. But the voice actors were having so much fun together and jiving together in the studio that they kind of like played on the comedic side of it. Plus, a lot of them had kids. And they wanted to make the show like more kid friendly. That's what everybody at CBS and all the voice actors were like, let's make it more kid friendly and not like a fucking heavy metal style murder cartoon, which I think was a good call.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because it wouldn't have been as big as it was now. But it's cool that that CBS like saw the promise in that and what they were trying to do. And was like, why don't you make it a little fucked up? That was a quote from someone from CBS. Hey, why don't you make the Turtles a little fucked up? That's what they said. It's not my words. Allegedly. Mm-hmm. And also in the United Kingdom, the shit was censored so much that they replaced the word ninja with hero. And
Hero Turtle.
It became TMHT, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because ninja was too violent. What the fuck, United Kingdom?
Yeah, what the...
Yeah, what are
Who are they kidding?
What are you doing over there? You can't say ninja? That's ridiculous, man. So we had the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. We had Teenage Mutant Fighting Turtles. That was another one that happened. That was also in the United Kingdom, it says. So,
tried one, didn't work. Tried another one, probably didn't work.
Yeah, it's because it's called Ninja Turtles, bro. You gotta call it what it's called, and then it'll work.
Yeah, I don't know how they still do that shit now. Like how they name things 2 different names.
Yeah,
it's weird, right? I mean, like the internet is a thing now. Mm-hmm. Like, how could you still do that?
Yeah, you want to be able to Google it universally and find the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Like what would there's been a lot of times that we've done movies or TV shows and we talk about something, but somewhere else in the world it's called this. But here it's called that. And I wish I could remember at least one example of that. Let's see. The Mighty Ducks is called it's called Champions, or We Are the Champions, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. There we go. I halfway remembered it.
There's a bunch of Christmas ones too.
of Turtles?
No, like just Christmas movies. Like there'll be like the same exact movie as one over here, but it'll just have a different name over there. Or like
Yeah, it's weird. It's like why?
Sports movies like The Longest Yard.
Is it
something
like,
different over there? It's I don't know.
The longest meter.
It's a soccer movie instead of a football movie.
So they like, okay, so they did it with like a whole new cast and everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they don't just change the name, they change the cast.
It's remake for over there.
So, but, you know, when they, like the Mighty Ducks, for example, they just released the Mighty Ducks with Emilio Estevez. It's just called something else. But over there, they actually remake the whole shit. That's insane. I guess for some movies, you got to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense.
Yeah.
But, so why do we get movies with subtitles that are just from other countries? And we're supposed to get them?
Yep.
I don't know. Well, I guess they do the same thing here too. We'll take
nobody here wants to remake other country movies.
But you know, there'll be some movie that was made in another country, and then we'll get American actors to act in it. You and me personally will get the actors to act in it.
Yeah.
And then make an American version of the movie and call it The Day the Earth Was Like, yo, what up, dog?
Dog?
Yeah, with Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, Jaden Smith, and Willow Smith.
All of them.
Yeah. It's going to be the Smith family.
It's going to be the Fresh Prince.
It's going to be the Fresh Prince is what it's going to be. And it's going to be called The Day the Earth Said, what up, dog? Let's see. So, in the comic books, hold on. There was a fact that I read about the comic books, and I'm trying to remember what it was. It's gone. The damn weed. It hit me. You know what? That's what we should do, is smoke some weed. If I smoke weed, maybe I'll remember.
All right, let's do it.
All right, cool. I got a track queued up right now for the weed smoking.
Sweet.
Oh, shit. Everybody out there, light up, smoke with us. Damn right, Michelangelo's a party dude. Michelangelo.
Hey.
Yo.
Who sung this song?
I don't know. Who sung that song?
I don't know. Who sung the song?
The song was sung by Chuck Lorre. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, it was written by Chuck Lorre.
It's up for interpretation, how things are pronounced.
Yeah.
Another guy.
It always is, I guess. I remember what I was going to say.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that in the comic books and in the movies, the turtles' names are often abbreviated by their friends and the other turtles. You know, Leo, Donnie, Mikey, all that shit. But in the series, from 1987 all the way to 96, they were all referred to in their full name, which seems weird. You know what I mean? It's like, what if we were to walk around and just be like, hello, Michael. You know what I mean? Like, they never loosened up. They never got comfortable with each other. It was always full name. And I don't know if that was because there was a lot of kids watching it and they were trying to like ingrain the names into your head. Full name, because when I think about it, I don't think Donnie, Mikey.
Yeah.
You know, so there definitely was a reason for it. And this is also the only adaptation that doesn't have anything about the conflict between Leonardo and Raphael. If you are a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, you know that they're always fucking fighting. Constantly. You know what I mean? They never get along. Leo is kind of like the leader, and he has 2 swords, which means that he has twice as many weapons as everybody else.
No, Raphael has 2 sides also.
Yeah, but they're small. And that's why Raphael thinks that he is
And Michelangelo
equal.
has 2 nunchucks.
No, that's one thing. It's tied together.
Oh.
That's a nunchuck.
He has 2 of them.
Nunchako.
If you look, he has 1 on each side.
Nunchako. Oh, fuck, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
but if we're talking after season 5, then it was replaced by a grappling hook.
Well.
So, you know what I'm saying. Grappling hook. But either way, Raphael does not like taking orders, and they often butt heads. But for some reason, it wasn't talked about in this series. And is that because, what I said before, it was marketed towards children?
I don't know.
I'd like to know why.
I'm sure kids wouldn't really get it.
Yeah, but there's always kids that you don't get along with, you know what I mean? That you butt heads with for no reason.
Yeah.
Maybe not like fighting or anything like that, but like there's always some kid that like picks on you, or some kid that you don't like because he like never closes his mouth. You know what I mean? You're like, close your fucking mouth, and it's just like this big thing.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So yeah, man. Do you have a favorite, like, memorable episode of the Ninja Turtles when you were a kid, or some sort of like piece of merchandise, or a Halloween that you dressed up as a turtle, maybe?
I had all of it, honestly.
All that shit?
Like I said, yeah, my great grandparents like subscribed to me to all that shit. You know, like I would get all the new shit when it would come out, and fucking. I always like would go buy all the new toys when they would come out, and like those were the one things that I would always get. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why.
Yeah, I remember having
That's just the only one that I was like, and then I remember having like different turtle costumes or whatever for Halloween to whatnot. I remember the turtle silverware and shit, the plates and the cups and all that shit, and fucking everything, like the bed sheets and pillowcases or whatever, you know, like kids shit was marketed so good at that time. That was really like the genesis of like where marketing actually became like savage as fuck, you know what I mean? And like that's where, like, you know, everybody basically copied Star Wars.
Yep.
And it exploited it to like the limit, you know what I mean? And some of them were smart and did it right at the right times, and it took off, and then others not so much. But Turtles were just really on point with that shit, and I had a lot of it. I remember having so many of the toys. So many of the toys, dude. It was crazy. Over time, and then what's crazier is my great grandma held on to a lot of that shit. She kept almost everything for fucking 25 years or some shit.
That's fresh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I remember having like a VHS tape of the first season. The first season was only like 5 episodes, I want to say. So it was all 5 episodes on this VHS tape. And it was like, the tape was orange, I want to say. Like the actual plastic was all orange. And fucking,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it came in some sweet ass sleeve. And I fucking wore that tape out to where I had to adjust the tracking all the time. You remember that? Tracking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kids don't know what I'm talking about.
Kids don't know shit about that.
Kids think I said fracking, and I didn't.
Fuck, we lived in such a crazy time, right? Like, think about nostalgia. Look at what, like, old people always talked about, like, records and like before fucking anything else, before 8 tracks or before cassette tapes or anything, before fucking, you know, like all this shit led up to shit. You know what I mean? Like when we were around, it was cassette tapes still.
Yeah, and everybody's all like, you know, all these old people are all like, I had to walk uphill in the snow both ways and all this shit. And we don't want to sound like that, but, you know, people nowadays can't even sit through a 15-second YouTube ad before you watch something. Imagine having to wait 7 minutes for your movie to rewind before you watch it. You know what I mean? There's times when I would rewind it and I would be like checking to see like where I was at, because there was some previews in the beginning that you didn't want to rewind or like over, and then you got to fucking fast forward through them. So I would play it and I'd maybe be like 5 or 10 minutes into the movie. I'd just start playing it from there. You know what I mean? No big deal. Let's just get this shit going because I'm tired of waiting. And that's the pain that you would have to feel with a VHS player that you don't feel anymore. Rewinding was the worst.
I remember having cassette players. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like a straight up Walkman.
Yeah, and I had a fucking tape deck in my car. I had a Walkman.
Yeah, man.
Had to flip the tape over to get to the other side. Or you remember when they had CD players and they had the ESP, so you could like run, and it would do the skip protection and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, CD player one.
Yeah, and now everybody just has iPods that they could run over with their car.
Yeah.
No big deal.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm. It's a struggle, man. And now we sound old, so let's get out of here. Let's end on that old point. Maybe we'll die before the next episode comes out.
Oh man, that's cool though. You know what I mean? Like we got some real nostalgia in our lives from stuff like this, from times like these. And it's a fucking long time ago already.
I know.
It's crazy, but it's awesome. You know what I mean? Like we lived through an awesome time, and a lot of it's coming back. All of it's coming back. Actually, it's like you could pretty much pick anything from the '80s,
right?
Look around,
and it's back.
Probably see it right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's like we lived in the last era where, you know, everything was hands on. Like you had to fucking rewind your tapes, and you had to go find your friends if you wanted to hang out with someone. You had to go to the park. And then if they weren't at the park, you had to go somewhere else and go to their house and then go to fucking Jimmy's house. And, you know, it was like you were like engulfed in life. You were in life. You weren't distracted by social media or news or text messaging someone that's not there, or all of these different things that aren't happening to you now. You know, now everybody's always doing things that are happening somewhere else, or happening later, or happening on the internet or in the cloud, and nobody's in the now. And we were in the last generation that was forced to be in the now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless we were like playing Game Boy, we were in the now and paying attention to the world around us. And I think it paid off. You know what I mean? It gives you character, and it really teaches you how to interact with the world. You know what I mean? There's kids nowadays that can't interact, don't have social skills at all. And that's because their whole life they've been looking at their phone and not interacting with people.
Yeah, it's just a different type of interaction.
Yeah, it's like
online interaction is way different.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to explain too. You know, it's its own universe as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, so when it comes to a group of 4 people standing there, like, hey, how's it going? Then they, you know, a lot of people don't know what to say, and you get these weird.
They should just bust out some Ninja Turtle quotes.
Yeah, that's what I say. California roll, cowabunga dude,
radical.
Yeah. I made a funny. Did you drop something?
No.
No. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. And we will be back on Thursday. We're going back in time. It's Ninja Week.
Yeah, man. We're going to go get fucking crazy with it.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to say the thing?
No.
No? All right. I'll say it. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I say it?
Word up.
Peace, bitches.
Natural Habitat Recordings.